Hey guys, it's Gaz. Welcome to Warframe video. So today I'm going to be talking about my Khora build, the one I've been using for has Khora been out a year now? I want to say it's been like 6 months to a little bit over that, maybe a year. Yeah, Khora's been a really good Warframe for a while now. She got a really bad rep when she came out at first, and then she got some reworks, and then YouTubers stopped crapping on her so hard. So yeah, I think she's kind of accepted now as a decent frame. A lot of people still think she's bad, but I'm going to show you today why she is not actually bad anymore. And she's one of my favorite frames of the entire game. If you look at my profile, I have a ton of kills on Khora. She's not really close to Saren, to be honest, but we have 66,000 kills on Khora. And I mean, of course, Saren's going to have more. Saren has like 364,000, but that's because I play Saren in ESO all the time. One thing about Khora that not a lot of people realize, that you actually can use Khora as a DPS in Elite Sanctuary Onslaught, and you can actually kill faster than Saren with the proper circumstances in place. Okay, guys? So I'm going to be showing you the build I use on Khora for Elite Sanctuary Onslaught, also for Kuva Survival. She's my go-to Kuva Survival frame, and I also use her in some other types of missions just for fun. So yeah, here's the thing with Khora. Her abilities have a lot of stuff involved with them. Like, we're talking, there is lots of functionality in these abilities. So there are some things I'm inevitably not going to be able to cover. I'm going to try to get most of it out there, though. So yeah, let's go over it. Okay, so first ability on Khora is called Whipclaw. So what this does is you use your first ability, and you send out your whip, and then at the point of impact, there is an area of effect where damage is applied. And the damage from this is affected by power strength mods. It's also affected by the melee mods on your equipped melee weapon. So it doesn't care about the stats of your melee weapon, it cares about the mods that are equipped to your melee weapon. So that's why having a stat stick for Khora builds is not super important, but it will give you more damage compared to if you did not have a stat stick. And currently, one of the best stat sticks in the game for Khora is the Jaw Sword. It's the same thing with Gara, it's the same thing with Atlas. It's a fake exalted weapon. You're trying to get as much damage as you can, but the thing with Khora is, unlike Atlas and Gara, you actually want crit stats too. So let me explain why the Jaw Sword is the best stat stick for Khora's first ability, as well as Gara and etc. So the reason for that is because it has 5 Riven dispositions, so the Rivens are as strong as they possibly can be. It also has this augment mod called Blade of Truth, which is an augment mod that only works on the Jaw Sword, gives you plus 100% melee damage. And then you also have, I mean, that's basically it. So we're trying to use this, and we're trying to use the high Riven disposition to get Rivens like this. They have crit stats and some damage on them. That minus 137% range does not matter at all. It does not affect the Whipclaw. It makes our Jaw Sword basically hit enemies inside of us, but we don't actually use the Jaw Sword for damage. We're using it just to put good mods on for the Whipclaw ability. Okay, so we go crit damage, some crit chance. This also affects her Whipclaw, so this works really well, guys. We're getting crits basically all the time with this build, and the crits are really hard. Alternatively, I have like a slash status build that I've been working on. I have a pretty bad negative for this, but it still does give me a couple good slash ticks. I mean, this build doesn't really work as well as I want it to. I was just testing it out. I might get rid of this Jaw Sword Riven. It was just experimentation. But yeah, you want to go for crits on this, guys. Okay, so yeah, that's the build for the stat stick. That was the first ability. We're just getting started on these abilities, guys. So the second ability is called Ensnare. So it's a single target CC ability that propagates to nearby enemies. Okay, so let's go ahead and spawn these dudes in, and I'll show you what I mean. So we target one of them with our 2, and it wraps them in these chains. Then the chains, after a short delay, will go to other nearby enemies, and they can actually get the enemies through the wall. So it's really nice crowd control. It puts all the enemies in one area, so you can actually hit them with your Whipclaw, your first ability. So they're all in the same place. I can just whip them, and they're going to be dead pretty soon. Alright, it's very nice if you have like a weapon like the Ignis Wraith or the Arcaplasmor. You grab all the enemies together in one area, and they're all pulled like directly in front of you, and you just toast them all. It's really nice. A couple other things about this second ability is duration mods affect how long they are chained, and also it influences how fast the propagation will happen. So if you have really high duration, it's basically going to be an instant propagation to other enemies. Another thing about it is when you have a enemy ensnared by this, your cat, which is your extra cat, because Khora has an extra cat that she gets, it actually deals bonus damage to enemies affected by your 2 as well. So that's almost it with the second ability. You also deal bonus damage to enemies with your first that are affected by your 2. So yeah, let's get into the third, and the third's got to have a little bit of an explanation on it. Okay, so your third ability is your cat, your special cat called Venari. Only Warframe in the game that can use this specific cat. It counts as your passive and your third ability, pretty much, and when it dies, it will... I don't even remember how it you don't really focus on the cat too much. It's fun to have. It, like, when it dies, I want to say that it, like, respawns, like, a couple seconds later, but, like, drains your energy or something like that. Let's make sure I'm correct in that sentiment. When Venari is alive, yeah, so when she's alive, you also get a movement speed multiplier, and when she's killed, she'll respawn. Okay, so it takes 45 seconds to respawn her, or by casting the ability. Okay, see guys, I never respawn Venari, so I actually had to read the wiki page for that one. So when Venari dies, your extra cat, it will take 45 seconds to respawn, but you can actually push the ability again to immediately respawn her as well. Okay, that's like something you really aren't going to run into very often. Like, I play Khora all the time, and I basically didn't even know that, so yeah, that's how not important that part is. Okay, but here's the thing with Venari. So she's an extra cat. You can actually mod the cat for whatever stats you want. I actually have a build on here where it's doing corrosive damage for me, and it's also got some decent status chance and tankiness. So what this does is basically it will attack things for me, and it will be dealing corrosive damage with the Shock Collar mod and the Venom Teeth mod. And as it's like removing their armor, because it has a pretty good status chance, it will start dealing these high damage slash procs too. So it's going to kill a lot of enemies, especially if they're wrapped up in my 2. It will kill them pretty quickly, actually. So yeah, let's keep going over the ability. So there's 3 different modes for the Venari, the extra cat. There's attack mode, there is protect mode, and then there's healing mode. The modes that we really care about here are attacking and healing. So let's go over them really quickly. So you basically just, you hold down the button to switch between your different modes. So I'm in protect mode right now. I hold it down, I go to heal mode, hold it down, I go back to attack mode, which is the first one you start off on. And then if you target something, like if you just tap the ability, like let's go to heal mode and I'll tap it on myself, now the cat is healing me, and it's going to heal me for a bit. It's going to start draining energy if it's actually healing. You can heal your teammates with the heal ability. You can heal the Kuva life support tower and Kuva survival, which is really nice. And you can heal like your other cat. Like say my other cat was damaged, I could heal it with Venari cat. And it's actually a healing AoE, which is pretty nice. Okay, so that's also affected by power strength. So we have a little bit of power strength in this build just to make the healing better. And then now that we're on attack mode, I'm going to target a specific enemy, and it will make the cat attack that specific enemy I targeted. Okay, so this is the damage with the build on a level 100 enemy. We can wrap it up so it's going to deal some bonus damage. I mean, it's got pretty good damage. Putting power strength on your build actually makes the cat do more damage too. So we took that into account when we made this build, and it's honestly not too bad. Protect mode, I basically never use protect mode, but what it will do is it disarms an enemy. It like knocks them over and takes their gun away. See, he had a rocket launcher before, he has like a sheave now. I basically never use that mode. I'm on heal and attack most of the time. Okay, so that's her bonus cat. There's a couple other little things with it, but basically it's just there to like kill enemies when you feel lazy, because you can be really lazy with Khora. That's one of the reasons I bring her to Kuva survival. Is once we go over her 4th ability, you'll understand why I bring her. It lets you be very lazy in Kuva survival. Okay, so yeah, she gives you a speed multiplier. That doesn't really matter to me. But this 4th ability, guys, Khora's 4th ability is probably one of the best abilities in the entire game. Okay, mark my words on that. I think it actually is one of the best abilities in the entire game. And let's go over why. Okay, so what her 4th ability does is it's called Strangle Dome. And it makes a dome of living metal that ensnares the nearby enemies and pulls them in. And their allies that see them stuck in my 4 will actually shoot them instead of me. And they're also taking damage per second while they're in the 4. Okay, so since we have a ton of range on this build, it actually has a nice mechanic where it will pull enemies from the other side of walls into my Strangle Dome. Okay, so see, like this guy's stuck in it right now. I'm going to use my 2. It's going to pull these enemies from over there into the dome, and now they are CC'd until it disappears. Okay, so now they're stuck in there. They're taking damage per second. So this is a level 100 enemy. He's probably going to die from my 4. He hasn't even been it the entire time. So yeah, this is what it does. You can have 2 of these up at once. So if you have a ton of range, you can actually lock down a huge area. Because as enemies approach the dome, they're going to get pulled into it and get stuck. And now they can't really do anything. And then you or your teammates can just shoot them while they're stuck in the dome. Another thing about the Strangle Dome, let's actually respawn some more enemies, is your first ability, the Whipclaw. It will actually, if there's enemies stuck in your dome, you can actually whip one of them and it will transfer half of the damage to the other enemies in it. See? We whipped that one guy, the other guys got hit by it too. It's kind of similar to your 2 like that, where it makes it so your Whipclaw can hit like multiple enemies pretty easily. Here's one of the problems you run into with this, is like they start spinning around and it's kind of hard to hit them when they're doing that. But if you get used to it, you might be able to hit them pretty reliably. I sometimes have problems with that one. Okay, so yeah, like I said, this is really good in Kuva survival. You basically get to the Kuva tower, you put up your Strangle Dome, enemies get sucked through the wall and stuck in there, and like at any normal level, the damage this ability does is enough to kill them. So Kuva survival, usually like around like level 40, I want to say, is like where it starts off at. And you can go in Kuva survival for about 20-ish minutes, and basically not even play the game. Just have your 4 kill things for you. Especially if you're bringing corrosive projection. See, like this guy's a level 40 corrupted lancer, and like the enemies keep running into it, guys. They just keep dying over and over and over again. And if you have a Necros too, like more power to you. Those enemies are just running in to get insta-killed. So it's really nice. She is probably the best Kuva survival frame in my opinion. Maybe Necros, but the thing about Necros is you actually have to like be playing, okay? This is the build we're using, so the really important thing here is this 280% range. You can have less range, but you will not be pulling enemies from the other sides of walls as reliably as this build is. So yeah, this is a lot of Forma. This is the most Forma I have on any frame, if you want to see really quick. I have 6 Forma on Khora. I have 4 Forma on her cat. Her special stat stick, I have 4 Formas on this. I also have 3 Rivet mods for it, or 2 Rivet mods for Khora. So this is a lot of resources put into this frame, guys. And I would say it's overall worth it. She is very fun to play. But the problem with her is, I mean, you don't want to take her to an Eidolon fight. You don't want to really take her to the Orb. That's her biggest problem. So yeah, we have you could have more power strength on here. Also, some people use the Augment mod. But for what we're doing with Khora, we don't really need this Augment mod. We're more focused on her 4th ability with this, because it's enough to kill enemies at the Kuva survival mission that we're going to, up until about 20-ish minutes. And I mean, if you're doing it with a team and you're going longer than 20 minutes and you're bringing corrosive projections, you'll still be fine, even without this mod. This mod is definitely not necessary. It is fun. Like, don't get me wrong, I'd like to use this mod. It's actually on my Owie build, I think. No, I don't have it on there either. Okay, so this is a higher power strength build just for getting ridiculous damage numbers with Khora. But yeah, this is the build for cheesing Kuva survival and also being a DPS and ESO. Yeah, so let's actually just go into a Kuva flood right now, and I'll show you how this does in a normal mission. There's a couple little things I didn't cover, but hopefully I can remember what those are while we're in the Kuva mission. One of my favorite things about Khora is you get to have 2 cats at once, though. I'm going to be completely honest. You get to have your normal cat, your Adarza or your Smita, and then you have your special cat for Khora, the Venari cat. And it's great. You get to hear twice the amount of meowing, and yeah, sometimes they'll just like, attack enemies, and they're just donezo. Okay, so this is a pretty good mission for Khora. We have pretty good objective control with Khora's 4th ability as well as the 2. I'm pretty sure this is a pretty open map though. So in indoor maps like Kuva survival, the enemies will get pulled from the other side of walls and get stuck to the wall, and it's like perfect for us. But when it's wide open like this, it's not going to be as ideal of a situation. But I don't think we'll have any problems anyway.
Those are the queen's
Not to mention, guys,
blades.
like since like enemies are like running towards you and they get stuck before they even get to the objective, it's amazing for infested. Because infested are melee enemies. They are just instantly like done if you
Here is a terminal.
if you put your Strangle Dome up. See, we roped all the enemies in the area together, and now we can just whip them very easily, and they're all, besides Ambulance, they're all dead.
This was the moment.
I unequipped Magus Lockdown.
Wait.
We're using double elevate right now.
That worked.
I mean, it's not like I don't like Magus Lockdown, it's just I'm using some other stuff right now. I'd like to have some variety. See, all the enemies in the area are pulled together, and we can just Ignis Wraith them, we can whip them. We have our choices.
Still working on it.
See, like, these enemies are, like, in this doorway, pretty much, and they're getting pulled. Yeah, so she's really good. This is, like, this is no I know for a fact right now I'm not gonna have any problems with this mission because Khora is reliable for aim like that.
Hurry. Use operator form to strike those Kuva clouds.
Okay, so we don't have a ton of duration on this build. These guys got out of there pretty quickly. The thing is, if you want like every stat, you need to like sacrifice some stuff. So we have 100% efficiency right now, and I'm sure some people would like higher efficiency. See, the problem that you run into when you run Khora as a DPS and ESO is you are actually running out of energy because you spam your burst ability so much.
Your operator form is key.
So yeah, you actually want an EV in ESO if you're gonna play Khora there, an Energy Vampire Trinity that is. This guy is chunky. Wow. Okay. He does not want to die. There we go. Get some damage in there. I gotta hack him, don't I?
Hack into that disabled ambulance.
Give me a sec, dude. Oh, we got the Kuva too. I don't even want to like deal with that hack right now.
Balls of festering flesh. You let them destroy my Kuva siphon.
I want these assassins to spawn. That's gonna be so perfect, because, guys, like, the thing is, like, the main problem I have with Khora is, like, you kill enemies too quickly sometimes, and you don't have enough time for your second ability to propagate. But, like, if you're playing solo like this, it's really nice. Like, her 2 ability and her 4 ability are really good. Her first is, like, nice, but for situations you don't need the damage in, it's, like, pretty useless, actually. Oh, there's the assassins. Alright, let's pull the enemies together. And, I mean, those guys are no problem usually, but they're super no problem when you have a Khora. And, like, if you have a lot of enemy radar, you can actually see the enemies just, like, running in. Like, see, those guys are stuck. Yeah, this is what I'm talking about. This guy is stuck to the 4 from the other side of the wall. And now his teammate is shooting him, put him out of his misery. So this is really nice. You get to have some damage with your CC with Khora.
Still working on it. Continue to defend.
I've done like hour-plus Kuva survival runs solo with Khora. Like, she has the damage, and if you know how to position your Strangle Dome properly, you will never have a problem with enemies. Damaging enemies might be a bit of an issue, but that's why you bring weapons too. Also, like, with a low efficiency build like this, you're going to be using energy pads if you're going to be going super long solo and Kuva survival with this frame. But overall, I'd say that she's really good. Definitely one of my top frames of 2018. And I'm really bummed that a lot of YouTubers like destroyed her like online, like oh, she's so bad, like what a terrible character. And I mean, like, yeah, she wasn't as good at first. But, like, people, like, it's kind of like the Mag situation, how Mag used to be, like, really bad, and YouTubers were like, oh, dude, Mag is the worst frame ever. So, like, everyone automatically thought Mag was the worst, like, even after her rework, when she's, like, actually okay now. It's kind of a similar situation with Khora. Like, I always hear people saying, like, oh, at least she's not as bad as Khora. I'm like, have you played Khora in, like, the last, like, 6 months, or, like, whatever? Like, she's actually pretty viable now. Mind you, you had to put a lot of formas into it to get these kind of results, but yeah, I mean, she's really fun. She's got healing, she's got damage, she's got crowd control. She's got the double cat meow fest. That's pretty nice too. I got no complaints with her, besides the fact I can't really use her in Eidolon, like, at all. And like when I used her in Profit Taker, it was like a complete garbage fest. It was not good. Another thing you can do with Khora is you actually can put the Hunter Recovery mod on both of your cats. And that will make it whenever they melee, that it actually heals you. So when you have 2 cats going with that mod, you're gonna be basically full health as long as you don't get one shot and the cats are like actually doing things. Because Venari does a lot of damage. My Smita actually doesn't do that much damage, but it would be enough to like get me like 80 health here and there. Venari does like 500 damage per hit, I want to say, so that would be like almost a full heal. And Venari attacks very quickly, so yeah, it would be pretty difficult for me to die there. Alright, so that was pretty good. Hope you guys found this video helpful. I think Khora is awesome, and I think more people should try her out. You can do a build with lower lower stats overall with less Forma, and it's gonna be fine. It's just like I know this build takes 6 Forma, guys, and that's not very reasonable for most people. But if you want that 280 range and you want the really high power strength, and you want some power strength too, which is important in Kuva survival when you're cheesing it, because the damage of your 4th ability, the Strangle Dome, is affected by power strength. So if you don't have a lot of power strength, it's not going to be killing those enemies as quickly, okay? So, see, it's 350 damage, it's 250 at base, and like that's per tick. So when you have an enemy that is stuck in your 4 and they're like lower level, that extra 100 damage per tick actually makes a really big difference, okay, guys? So yeah, hopefully this was helpful to you, and I hope you have a nice night. I will be doing some more videos very soon. I have some new amp videos I'd like to show. I've built way too many amps, actually. I actually bought new amp slots with Platinum last night, guys. So that was a bit odd. I didn't realize amp slots were a thing. But yeah, they are. So we'll see you in the next one. Please like, share, subscribe. Thanks for all the support on the channel. I'm doing that giveaway soon. And yeah, you guys have a nice one. Peace.